I traded in my Buick for a Toyota. What the hell happened? No, the Buick isn't gone. It's just on vacation for a day or two. And this is the vehicle that I came home in. This is a 1987 Toyota Camry LE with the 4-cylinder engine, automatic transmission, power windows and locks, and power seat belts, actually. My father bought this car in November of 1986, so it's a very early 87 model. It was brand new redesigned for 87. This car has gone to hell, has come back, has gone to hell again, probably about 17 more times, and is still on the road. I don't know how. This is the style of hubcap it came with. Originally it had white walls on it. It's pre-tenderized for the farm, as you can tell. The bumper, right. Yeah, the hood, more bumperness. Right. Right, yeah. But, yeah, a little more tenderization there. This car is a classic, as it is 30 years old. And here it is. I will explain in the video description what's going on with the Buick. There's nothing wrong or anything that anybody needs to worry about. It'll be back. It's just on a little vacation right now. So if you want to find out what's going on with that, you actually get to read the description. And my phone's ringing. Interesting thing to mention is it actually spells out Toyota as opposed to the Big 6, which has the Toyota emblem that we all know now. They didn't, this symbol didn't exist at the time when this was new. So we're gonna go over everything. So let me open it up, and then I think what I'll do is I'll tell some old war stories about it, which will be separate videos, but I'll just show you the car in this one. Power locks still work. Metal door handles. And this car has 200,510 miles, which you can see right there. 200,510. It's been around. It has been around a lot. So it's well beaten beyond recognition. Filthy. My mother drove this car for most of its life, which is why it's in the condition it's in. It's got a cigarette burn in the seat. I don't even want to know what that is. This has fallen out of place and been glued with some silicone rubber many times. And getting in, this is what it was 30 years ago. 30 and a half years ago at this point. There's your dashboard. Your warning lights are up in the corners. I don't know if you can make any of them out. And on that side. And there is actually a check engine light, which is located within the tack. Somewhere right there, you might be able to see it. Like I said, there are a million old war stories about this car. It says Camry like that on the steering wheel. The steering wheel is thinner than modern cars, certainly, but it is padded to a certain degree. Shift indicator here with light globes that light up that show that. Cruise control was not on the steering wheel to turn it on and off, although you would set the coast and acceleration resume on the stalk here, along with your delay wipers and standard lights and turn signals there. They put the switch for the rear window defroster there. Climate controls, yeah, this was high-end back in the day. So you have 4 fan speeds, which is pretty common now. Auto, which selects where the air is going to go based on nobody knows. And below that is recirculate. Up top are all the other settings. You had, you know, upper, lower, both, lower and defroster and just defroster. You move the slider for the temperature, and it had an AC and an economy AC button. Economy wouldn't run the compressor as much. and the AC is long dead on this car. Four-way flashers there, and the clock, which is a real vacuum fluorescent display. Glove box. The radio, you don't even want to know the amount of coffee that's in that radio. Cigarette lighter along with, that's what you got for a cup holder. It's a junk tray below, so if you wanted to use the cup holder, that was that. There is a little tray under these napkins. This is not my car, I didn't mention. This is my dad's car. I'm just borrowing it. Over here is the emergency exit lever. This is for, you know, the ejector seat. Actually, it's for the automatic seat belts, because they were common in the day. Parking brake, obviously. And ECT, electronically controlled transmission, I believe. Normal and power mode, if you push it on. Push down belt release lever, that's for that. And that thing just beeps and flashes in that. And my dad always used to make a joke of it. When we'd be driving, he'd lift it up, it would go beep, 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 and this thing would start flashing, and then of course he'd make an explosion sound. And that was that. Here's what the emergency exit lever does. And allegedly it allows the shoulder belts to retract or something like that. There was a recall on this car, actually. Underneath this and under the napkins there's a little tray, and under that tray is the computer for the seat belts. Yes, it had a computer for it, and there was people would spill stuff in there, it would kill the computer, so they put some sort of shield over it, and I think this car had that done. There's also a little panel here just to the left of the seatbelt buckle that you can take off, and there's some sort of thumb wheel in there that you can turn that will drive the shoulder belts manually. And next morning, here's a cold start just because. Like I said, my mother destroyed this car many times over. She smoked like hell in here, so it's pretty awful. He keeps the dome light turned off, I guess in case he accidentally leaves the door open. And it does have lights in the door, in the front anyway. That has it. Let me get the key in it, and we'll see if the radio even still works. I think it does. Yeah, metal door handle on the outside, on the inside rather. And power mirrors as well. I believe those also still work. Your brightness for the dash lights, and a place to keep quarters. That's all you got. And there's a blank there for I don't know what. And that padded looking thing is the radio speaker, and there's one on that side as well. One thing is that the seatbelt is always in the way. There is no way to detach it. That didn't exist, at least on this car. Although I know some Mazdas up until maybe 1990 had detachable ones. Some Hondas also had them detachable, and they may have had it on later model Camrys also. Let's put the key in, if that's a possibility. That was the beeper. One click. And this did have a power antenna, which doesn't work anymore.
On a burglary spree that started back
it does
in May,
work, it's on AM, and it does do AM stereo. There's actually an indicator which is even lit.
Stealing thousands of dollars from the registers along with
Let's
other
try FM. Yeah, apparently it works. I'll just go to 95.5 because I know that's a good strong station. Not that it's good music, but it's there. And you had your bass and treble and balance and fader right there. Let me shut this. In order to turn the key back, there's a button up here you have to press. It's not a push the key in and turn thing. You got to press the button and turn it. Oh, and that's the alarm. Yeah, it does that for 30 seconds or a minute. This siren is disconnected. and that I don't even remember what this did or how the settings work, but I think it gave you 8 or 10 seconds. Let me see if I could reset it. Oh, I'll show you the clock also. It's a true VFD. Still works. Definitely, if he ever junks this thing, taking that out. Yeah, the alarm, I think it had a motion sensor, which was new at the time in '87. Oh, overdrive, 4-speed with overdrive, you know, including the overdrive. And it had some of the newer car features that we take for granted today, like the trunk and fuel door pop down there, if you can see that. When we go and put the key on, you can see the indicators there. Maybe I'll see if I could zoom in. You can see that check engine light real fucking good, which is not on, interestingly enough, although I think it has triggered a couple times over the years. And over here are your indicators there. Here's the shift indicator. I don't know if they all work or not. The shifter is all of a, yeah, good stuff. Let's see if it will start. Nope. So now we'll go to neutral. It may not start. Known problem we have with it. Sounds like Oscar the Grouch's Sloppy Jalopy. And here we are. All 200,000 miles of it. The whirring or howling noise you're hearing is a bad power steering pump. It's been bad for fuck knows how long. And I don't know if the camera picks it up, but if you listen, it's also an old Clanky. Can you hear the clattering? This is another old Clanky engine, just like my 2002. This is very similar to the wife's car, which is a 2000, not to be confused with the 2000 it says there. 16 valve overhead cam, electronic fuel injection, that was a big thing for '87. Power brakes, power steering, of course. Starter has been replaced. Radiator fans are original. It has AC, but it no longer works. This is a crushed alarm siren over here. Cruise control module. Everything here is cable driven. Well, these are vacuum hoses, and the rest is cable driven right by that, because it's a mechanical throttle. And I don't know what that gadget under the air cleaner box is, that cylindrical thing. I can't see where the camera is. Right there, that thing. I do not remember what that was. Might have been a fuel filter, but I'm not certain. You can hear the clankiness. Sounds like there's an air leak. But this is what 200,000 miles gets you. Like I said, everything is original. Spark plugs and brakes and all that good stuff has been changed many times over. Power steering is original. Timing belt has been done who knows how many times. Alternator looks like it was replaced, I guess, at one point. I don't remember that for whatever reason. And the starter, like I said, and that's what's under the hood. I'll show you a little of the back and give you the exhaust note. The paint is, this actually is looking a little better, but the rest is just dull and dead. And this is what they looked like then. And there's that. The trunk has a thing over it. It was never broken or anything. If you peel that off, it still works. My dad covered that because he used to take this car into the city for years. So yeah, it's been around. The rear bumper has been replaced, certainly at least once, if not many times. It's even got Toyota mud flaps on it. Used to have a power antenna that worked. It now just stays up. And here is the exhaust. So that's it. That is the 1987 Toyota Camry LE with the 4-cylinder engine. Doing its thing at 200,000 miles. It still runs. Let's take it for a short rip, will we? The seat belt, I'll just hit the door switch here. No, maybe there's a separate one that needs to be actuated as well. Well, it'll do it when I get in, so I guess that's some sort of safety feature or something. I don't know what the hell that's about. There it goes. It has power windows. Auto down still works. Yep, and it pops back up. And you'll notice you push on the top and the bottom for up and down. It's not the pull up style that cars nowadays have. So I don't know where the best place to put you is, but I guess that'll have to do. And we'll take this for a short rip. Whoa. I don't know why it idles so high. I'm sure there's many things wrong. Oh, I wonder if the power steering quit, because it has none right now. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's actually quiet also. That seems to be working a little better now. No, not by much. Yeah! Ouch. Just shifts kind of, it doesn't want to rev up much and doesn't really want to move, although interestingly enough it seems to move better than the wife's car. It's got virtually the same engine that the wife's car has, hers being a 2000, so this was 13 years newer. I guess I'll try to go this way. Ah, damn. Yeah, no power steering is not fun. I don't know what happened. I wonder if the belt quit or the pump quit and it shit all its power steering fluid all over my driveway or Buick area or what have you. That's odd. My dad never told me that one. Oh, Mercedes. Bitchin' a Mercedes almost fucking T-boned me. Kind of all it really wants to give. Yeah. All right, I think we'll take it up here. It's a nice wide road to turn on without power steering. Oh, jeez. Of course, with two hands, it'll be a lot easier. And then it just doesn't move. I'm sure these are simple things that can be fixed. But this car probably gets 50 miles a month on it. I don't know. And there's 2 stars in the windshield. I don't know if you can make them out. And we're good. So it still drives. And honestly, for 30 years old, if anybody remembers the old Cavalier that my dad had that used to be the wife's car, that car drove a lot worse than this. As much as I hate to admit it. My dad used to have an 87 Nissan Sentra, which is long gone. I love that car. In fact, I forgot to mention, I learned to drive on this car. This very car is the car that I cut my teeth on behind the wheel when I became of driving age. And it's still around today. The 87 Sentra is long gone. And that is the car I learned to drive stick on because it was a 5-speed. And if I must say, I'm actually still pretty good at it. Kind of rusty. It's been a long time, but I can definitely drive a manual. For a little fun fact, I'm gonna have to put the camera down because I'm gonna have to somehow park this thing without power steering. So we'll see when we get back. I don't want to chance it any more than that. So yeah, that may have been it for the power steering. I don't know. Belt's still on there. It's still spinning, but just ain't pumping. So that's it. And the alarm thing, ridiculous. I'll just kill that. Not that it works anymore. Anyway, that was it. The 1987 Toyota Camry LE. Oh, this vent, you can move this up, and that's like a wide dispersal vent. Another useless feature. But it was luxury. It's the LE, the luxury edition model. This was luxury in a Japanese car in 1987. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look back at what cars might have been like 30 years, what cars were like 30 years ago. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.